Workers take to the streets of Bakersfield to call out officials what they see as a major problem for Kern County.
An immigration program faces a chopping block. Coming up, how many people could be affected by the end of the DACA program.
And Puerto Rico preparing for the storm, what the governor is doing to help get people ready for Hurricane Irma.
Live in high definition from KVAK-TV in Bakersfield, this is the Eyewitness News 7 at 11.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Suzette Reynoso.
And I'm Jeff Platt. The Labor Day holiday afforded unions the opportunity to shine a spotlight on workers' rights.
Especially issues like family, medical leave, maternity leave, overtime, and comp time. Hundreds of county workers rallied today to focus on one in particular. That was wage increases. Workers from several labor unions, including the Service Employees International Union, marked the day with a rally and march in downtown Bakersfield. They listened to the speeches from union representatives. The ending spot of the march was meant to send a message to the board.
We want our voices to be heard. That's why we're out here today.
We are reminding our bosses, the Board of Supervisors, that it is time that they invested in their most important assets, which is their workforce.
Ralliers hope today's event will increase pressure on county leaders to increase worker wage. They are also hoping the event will encourage other workers to speak up about workers' right issues.
President Trump is expected to make a decision about the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program sometime tomorrow. Today, crowds of people took to the streets in Los Angeles in support of former President Obama's DACA program. It provides deportation protection for undocumented migrants who were brought to the U.S. as children. Some officials say it would be unfair for the president to end the program.
There are 800,000 DACA kids who were brought across the border. The median age, I think, is 6 years old for those 800,000 when they came across the border. They should not be punished for the sins of their parents.
The president is expected to announce a 6-month delay so that Congress can pass a legislative fix to the program.
The governor of Puerto Rico has declared a state of emergency and activated the National Guard as they prepare for Hurricane Irma. Earlier today, it was strengthened to a Category 4 storm. The National Hurricane Center has declared a hurricane watch for Puerto Rico. It is expected to remain a dangerous storm through the week. The hurricane is expected to make landfall tomorrow.
Meanwhile, authorities say at least 60 people have died in Texas as a result of Hurricane Harvey. Parts of Houston remain underwater. People in other areas have started the massive cleanup effort. Environmental officials have been checking for damage at a nearby toxic waste dump. Other homes remain underwater after crews released water from 2 swollen reservoirs, which caused massive flooding in neighborhoods.
More than a year's worth of rain fell over several days, so we've never seen the level of rainfall and never actually pooled water and retained it within the reservoirs to this extent.
Earlier today, law enforcement honored a sergeant who drowned while on his way to work during the hurricane. A line of officers saluted as they moved his body to a funeral home.
Meanwhile, local Congressman and House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy was in Texas today, getting a first-hand look at the extensive damage left behind by Harvey. McCarthy, along with other officials, pledged to push through $15 billion in relief funding. Congress will be back in session tomorrow, and he says the first thing lawmakers will take up is a supplemental spending bill.
I may be from California, but I've never been prouder of Texas and this country, of what the love I've seen in this devastation. So I want you to know we are there for you in every step of the way, from the federal government to personal. My hometown of Bakersfield, they call it a little more like Texas than California. It's home to Buck Owens and Merle Haggard. We loaded up 3 trucks. We've already delivered them to Rockport, to Victoria, and others, bringing it in, and there'll be more coming on the way.
In a tweet this afternoon, McCarthy said he scheduled the vote on Hurricane Harvey relief for this Wednesday.
Firefighters are trying to gain the upper hand on the Pier fire burning out of control in Tulare County. The fire exploded in size since it started Tuesday, consuming nearly 17,500 acres. It is burning east of Springville and proving difficult to fight. Crews say dry brush and high temperatures have helped fuel the fire, and they have only been able to contain 10% of it. The flames have not destroyed any structures, but evacuation orders remain in effect for many areas, including Camp Nelson. For a full list of evacuations, head to our website, bakersfieldnow.com.
Kern County residents spent the holiday cleaning up after a brief but violent storm. Yesterday's storm uprooted trees and knocked down fences and left many neighborhoods flooded. Highway 99 was closed down at one point, causing a massive traffic delay after power lines fell on the freeway. Today, people were out attempting to clean the mess the storm left behind. Tree removal companies say they have received hundreds of calls since yesterday and are trying to do the best they can for the community.
Yes, a very extreme day yesterday, no doubt about that. We had the very hot afternoon, 111 degrees, and then all the storms. But now things are quieting down a little bit. Currently, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 84 outside, but the humidity is sky high. There's a 66 dew point. That is very, anything over 60 is considered semi-tropical. And the swamp cooler temperature right now will only cool you down to 73, which is not very good. So temperatures currently in the 80s. It's an 80s revival here in the South Valley. Up the mountains, the 60s. And we're still in the 80s up in Lake Isabella at this 11 o'clock hour. You can see the tropical moisture from the ex-tropical storm Lydia, the center of circulation there south of Los Angeles. A lot of moisture moving up across our area, a lot of humidity. But as far as any rainfall, that is all pretty much moved out. Temperatures right now are finally getting back to normal along the coast, 69 to 71 degrees. But we've got 84 degrees here in town, and the humidity quite high, 55%. That's pretty high humidity for us, and 93% along the coast, as you can see. Temperatures tonight will gradually be a little cooler. We had a low of 81 this morning, around 75 tomorrow morning with some clouds first thing in the morning, but it should be a pretty nice day. 60s in the mountains tonight, and temperatures up in the Kern River Valley will drop into the 70s with partly cloudy skies. Let's go to Denver, Colorado. Hey, they've had a lot of fire activity off to the west of there, and they are dealing with air quality issues right now. The Mile High City looks like they're going to probably see bad air for another couple of days. Jeff?
Well, let's go to Dodger Stadium for our play of the day. Nothing a Dodger did, but the Diamondbacks, J.D. Martinez put on a clinic 1, 2, 3, and it's going to come up in a second. Yes, 4 home runs in one game. First Diamondback to do it, 18th player in history to do it. 4 home runs, 1 game. I'd say that deserves the play of the day.
All right, well, still ahead, President Trump is not backing down from North Korea, how he is shifting strategies when it comes to dealing with the rogue nation.
And a woman from Bakersfield is on the front line of relief efforts in Texas. What she has to say about the situation and how you can help.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with Miles Museum.
Well, you'll always remember the big Sunday storm. It was the Labor Day weekend storm here. You can see some storm damage from Kathy. Here's from Nicole. This was played over and over and over again throughout the area. We had lots of wind. We had wind gusts up to about 48 miles per hour. My friend Tom over in the Northeast, he recorded a 61 mile per hour wind gust. And here's all the rain we had. Taft had 8/10 of an inch, and all came in a fairly short period of time. And Arvin, 1/1200 of an inch. And here at the station, we had 1/10 of an inch. And officially at the airport, we had, dust. Here's the dust that we had. And then the rains came, and boy, oh boy, we really had a storm on Sunday. Officially, 1/100 of an inch. But it's better than nothing. We're now on the board for the 2017-2018 rainfall year. 84 right now outside. We had a high of 101, the 66th triple digit of the year. 81 was the low this morning. We're breaking records left and right all the time, it seems. Hey, tomorrow it looks like we're going to see moderate heat stress, but then after that, no heat stress. The yellow and the green means a little bit of discomfort or no discomfort at all. That's what green means. So today was day 11 of heat wave number 4. By the numbers here, a category 4 heat wave. We had a category 1, 2, and 5 heat wave. The heat wave in June was the biggest of all, though. That's when we had just days and days of 110 degrees. Speaking of that, now that I think about it, we had 7 110 plus days, and that puts us in second place, or is it third place? Anyway, it was a lot. So anyway, no more severe storms. The extremes are over. Heat wave number 4 comes to an end. We're done with that heat wave, and there may be a low pressure system over the weekend that may develop a little bit of shower activity over the mountains. Temperatures today a little bit over 100 degrees. piece of cake, a walk in the park compared to what it was over the weekend on Sunday and Saturday. 84 right now outside, and the humidity, the dew points are way up into the 60s, so it's kind of muggy out there and will be until we get rid of all this tropical air, and that will probably take a couple of days before things begin to really improve. Big news is Irma, the Category 4 hurricane, which is moving toward the Windward Islands, the Greater Antilles, and San Juan. Here it is. It's moving toward San Juan, just to the north. It'll be late on Wednesday as it moves on through there. Gets to this position right here, and then makes a little bit of a turn and goes right up Florida here, and it'll be doing potentially a lot of damage across Florida. And both of the major global models are suggesting this is going to be a pretty big deal for that part of the world, with pressures, and this is one computer model giving the central pressure of 890 millibars. That would definitely be a Category 5, just to the south of Miami. We hope it doesn't turn out that way. Temperatures are in the 90s for the next 7 days, rather than the triple digits, 70s and even 60s overnight by Thursday morning. Just a slight chance for a shower in the mountains on Tuesday and Wednesday, then a better chance on Sunday, but nothing too heavy. Highs in the 80s, and 90-degree high temperatures for the next 2 days in the Kern River Valley. 80s by Thursday. A cooling trend.
We like that. Cooling trend.
We'll take it, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mike. Well, stay tuned. Little Leaguers in Bakersfield with an opportunity to be a big help. How one local business is helping them help kids get the gear they need.
And a woman from Bakersfield goes to Texas to help those in need. We'll hear the latest on relief efforts and how you can get involved.
President Trump not backing down from recent North Korean threats. The president says all options are on the table when dealing with the country. White House says both Germany and the U.S. have pledged to strengthen joint military capabilities. Athena Jones has more.
Mr. President, will you attack North Korea?
President Trump refusing to rule out taking military action against North Korea. But the fact remains that there are no easy answers for how to rein in the rogue regime's nuclear ambitions. This weekend's test is just the latest demonstration that years of diplomacy and sanctions have failed to halt the country's progress. Trump's own rhetoric on the issue has veered wildly, even in just the past few weeks. He leveled this threat last month at his Bedminster Golf Club.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Only to express optimism about the prospects for dealing with the country 2 weeks later.
Kim Jong-un, I respect the fact that I believe he is starting to respect us. I respect that fact very much. And maybe, probably not, but maybe something positive can come about.
It's just the latest example of Trump's shifting strategies when it comes to confronting the dilemma posed by North Korea. From optimistic talk on the campaign trail.
I'll speak to anybody. There's a 10% or a 20% chance that I can talk him out of those damn nukes, because who the hell wants him to have nukes? And there's a chance. I'm only going to make a good deal for us.
And as recently as May, of the potential benefits of opening a dialogue with the North's unpredictable leader, Kim Jong-un.
If it would be appropriate for me to meet with him, I would be honored to do it.
To tough talk like in early January when he tweeted, North Korea just stated that it is in the final stages of developing a nuclear weapon capable of reaching parts of the U.S. It won't happen. His Democratic critics say the president's approach has so far failed to deliver.
One thing is clear, the president's tough talk has not appeared to change the calculation of North Korea.
President
And after repeatedly pressuring China, the North's main ally and trading partner, to do more to rein in the country, a frustrated president lashed out at South Korea, a key U.S. ally in the region. Tweeting Sunday, South Korea is finding, as I have told them, that their talk of appeasement with North Korea will not work. They only understand one thing.
As we told you earlier, Harvey relief efforts are underway in Texas. A local volunteer is there to help with relief. Eyewitness News reporter Lexi Wilson tells us about the people she has encountered and tells us those stories. Lexi?
Yeah, Michelle Mackey is a Red Cross volunteer from Bakersfield. She packed her bags and headed out to Texas to help with a disaster that she says is the worst she has ever seen.
Hurricane Harvey is the first major hurricane to make landfall in years.
It's heartbreaking.
Michelle Mackey works for the Red Cross and is capturing photos of relief efforts. She says the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey is unlike anything she's ever seen.
This is bigger than Sandy. This is bigger than Katrina.
Red Cross is bringing food, clothes, water, and anything to help people survive.
One lady said, "I knew when I saw your truck, I knew we were going to be okay." And I almost lost it. I said, "Of course we're here."
Red Cross shelter numbers are going down as families go back to what was once their home. As they return, the Red Cross is giving them cleanup kits to remove the debris from the disaster.
She said, "What am I going to do? What am I going to do?" And you know what broke my heart is I didn't have an answer for her. I don't know what you're going to do.
Despite the physical and emotional damage, there are people who are counting their blessings.
She was able to look at me and she said, "But I'm blessed because I'm alive." And it's like, oh my heavens.
Mackey will soon be back in Bakersfield, but she'll return to Texas to help with the continued recovery efforts, expected to last at least a year.
Michelle Mackey is hoping that these pictures will impact people to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey. And although they do need supplies, money donations will bring relief to more people. To donate, call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Reporting in studio, Lexi Wilson, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Lexi. Calling all Little Leaguers, do you have an extra glove or an old pair of cleats collecting dust in your closet? If you do, there's somewhere right here in Bakersfield you could take that old gear where it could change another kid's life halfway around the world. Beer and baseball. At Lengthwise Brewing, these two American traditions are brought together by a cardboard donation box full of hand-me-down gear.
You know, we send out a ripple effect every day in the way that we conduct ourselves, the way we live our lives, and that's huge. If we're just a little more present, a little more authentic, we'll make the world a different place.
That's Mike McCarthy. He used to play in the Red Sox organization. Now he's a sales rep at Lengthwise Brewing and the field coordinator for Baseball Miracles, an organization spreading baseball to kids all over the world.
Just to be able to teach them baseball for a little bit, huge difference.
All the mitts, cleats, and balls in this box go overseas with McCarthy and Baseball Miracles. They're given to children who don't even have shoes or a home. What's amazing is most of the gear is donated by local kids.
A child's name, the glove that he donated, and this child used to use this glove, and now it's in Honduras, or now it's in South Africa, and someone's using it again.
McCarthy now is trying to get kids and teens to donate just one glove, hoping not only to make a difference in the lives of those who get the glove, but also to change the lives of the ball players donating them.
That experience for them might be the catalyst. That might be the spark that takes them and they start to live a life of service.
And when you live a life of service, no matter what field you play on or work in, you'll always be an all-star. So if you or your little one has a glove or cleats, baseballs, softballs, anything to donate, you can take it down to Lengthwise Brewing on District Road in Bakersfield and drop them off in that box. And don't worry if the box is full, you can just put it right next to the box because they can always use more. Speaking of that, Greg Kerr's got your sports coming up in just a bit.
Now, Eyewitness News Sports with Greg Kerr.
Greg, I'm sure that there's a lot of pessimistic Dodger fans out there that are all lining up to say, "I told you so."
Any losing streak, yeah, exactly. By the way, the story you did, Mike McCarthy, you've known him since he pitched at Cal State. He's been a great guy.
Really
great guy. Servant's heart, no doubt about it. Hey, it's probably not time to panic, but certainly time to ask a question. What's wrong with the Dodgers? JD Martinez, the Arizona Diamondbacks, coming to town, the same Diamondbacks team, which, by the way, swept the Dodgers last week in Arizona. Top of four, Martinez, who just was the show tonight, up against the Dodger starter Rich Hill. That was basically his only mistake in 6 innings. 2-0 Diamondbacks, home run Martinez. Dodgers, meanwhile, took 6 innings just to get their first hit. Top of 7, Martinez at the plate. It's the Dodger bullpen now. And that's his second home run of the game. Let's go to the 8th inning. Martinez at the plate again. Another different pitcher. His third home run off 3 different pitchers. but he couldn't possibly bat in the ninth, right? Oh yeah, Diamondbacks bat around. Martinez, fourth pitcher, fourth home run. Just the 18th player in Major League history to hit 4 home runs. And he hit 3 of them, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings as the Diamondbacks crushed the Dodgers 13-0. Earlier today, the Angels, every game's a big game. And it's 4-0 Oakland at one point. This home run right here ties the game at 9 apiece by Matt Olson. In the 11th inning, Cole Calhoun, 2-run triple. Angels go on to win 11-9. They used an American League record 12 pitchers to get the job done. Let's move on to the Twins and the Rays because that's who the Angels are chasing, the Twins. And the Rays are helping out. Kevin Kiermaier, 2-run single, 6-1. Tampa Bay on top. Evan Longoria steps to the plate, gets into the act, driving home 2 more. It's all Rays. They beat the Twins 11-4. The Angels trail the Twins by now just a half a game. Giancarlo Stanton at the plate, deep drive. Not Houston monster shot you see from him, but it's his 53rd homer of the season. Opposite field, actually hit a camera, broke a camera, or dented a camera. And the Marlins beat the Nationals by a final of 7-2. Earlier today, the Reds and the Brewers, first inning, base hit to center, and that's former Blaze star Billy Hamilton in center. Gunning it home. Beautiful. Got him at the plate. Billy in the 9th inning, stepping in with a 4-4 tie. Not known for hitting the long ball, but hey, here it is. Just his 4th home run of the season. Walk-off style as the Reds and Billy Hamilton go on to win by a final of 5-4. Let's get out to the U.S. Open. Straight set wins for Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer. Federer, by the way, making to his record 51st quarterfinal of a major. Madison Keys aiming to reach her first quarterfinal in a major. Takes the first set against Olina 7-6. Keys, however, dropping the second set. We're now in the third set. This is match point. Keys at the bottom of your screen. And that'll get the job done. She goes on to winning quarters 7-6, 1-6, and 6-4. NFL, remember week 1 just around the corner, and here we are. Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett says Ezekiel Elliott will practice with the team as though he would play this week as they await word on his hearing to wipe out a 6-game suspension. Pittsburgh Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell signing his contract today. He was franchise tagged by the Steelers. And in Indianapolis, it will be Scott Tolzien under center for the Colts. Andrew Luck ruled out for week 1, possibly longer, as Colts officials taking a very conservative approach to Luck's recovery from shoulder surgery.
I want to make sure when we get Andrew back, he can practice every day. It'll be a little bit of a process to get him to that, but we will. We don't want to jeopardize a little short term here over the long haul. Andrew's a young player still, and we got to have a long-term view here of where we're going.
All right, Georgia Tech leading Tennessee, trying to run out the clock, maybe just score again, making it a 2-possession game. They led by 7 at this point, and they promptly fumble. Tennessee recovers at their own 7. They march down the field, tie the game in regulation when John Kelly scores on this play to tie it at 28-28. They would block a Georgia Tech field goal to force overtime. Go to a second overtime. Tech trailing by 1. They go for 2. Their quarterback, Taquan Marshall, had scored 5 touchdowns, but not this 2-point conversion. And Tennessee survives 42-41 in overtime. BC football coach Jeff Chudy with some high expectations this season. Gets off to a fast start against Allen Hancock in that hot night at Memorial Stadium. That's Cam Roberson. Yeah, he's got some track in him. The hurdle's right there. Former Garza star into the end zone for a touchdown. 7-0 Gades. Former BCHS star Brandon Jones going to former driller Jaquel Tomlin as the Gades go on to win it by a final of 21-6. They will be on the road at Chaffey College this week.
All right. Well, thank you, Greg, for that. Our final look at weather coming up next.
Well, here's some more good news. Air quality is getting a little bit better. Will be moderate tomorrow, the next day, and good air quality can it be on Thursday. Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a little cooler than it has been, 75 for a low. Tomorrow's high temperature only about 96 degrees. Heat wave number 4 is over. And the temperatures will then be even cooler on Thursday. Look at that, lows in the 60s, highs in the 90s, very nice. There will be a slight chance for a shower, maybe 10% in the mountains on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then again on Sunday, possibly a few showers.
Oh, well, thank you, Miles. And thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night.